Guys, test 1, 2, 3. Let me see if audio should be working. Guys, test. All right, here we go. That's what we do these tests. Sometimes you never know, something happens. I don't know why it can sometimes lag. Anyway, we're good. Let's get started, guys. We got about an hour here. We got as much time as we, but about an hour on the stream. Grab your coffee, and let's lock in. Yes, sir. Okay, man, let's go. Let's lock in, lock in, lock in. Should I do it here or here? Let's just do down here, maybe. It's a little bit better. All right, guys. So, yeah, here we are. What we got? We got Fable doing some stuff. This is one of those patterns I wanted to show you guys, if you're not aware. Looks like I have to move my camera up. There we go. Looks like the pattern, by the way, is you can invoke a local Fable session. So you see I have my usage here, 7% usage. I can invoke a local Fable session from Cursor. So this means that it's not going to use my Fable 5 usage from Cursor, right? It's going to use my usage from my Claude Max Pro sub. I have a Max Pro sub, and so I obviously always prefer to pull from this sub because just if I have a current session and I have current week on Fable, it's always might as well max this out before I max out my Cursor. So I love to do that, especially in combination or in cahoots with other models. So what I would do is I would have Grok 4.6, the cheap one, open up the issue, maybe scope everything out, and kind of give the context to Fable so that Fable doesn't have to do more research and stuff like this because it's going to use up a lot of tokens. So we love to use Fable to just do the nothing. So there's no PR yet. Fable had the whole plan, died, resumed. When it finishes, test should commit on. Wow. Let me fix. Okay, I think we're good now. Sorry, just a little bit. My computer is struggling with memory. It looks like I need to close some stuff. But anyway, guys, so this is Fable here. It's gonna be running. I'm pretty sure it's still running. But we're gonna see when it stops. When it stops running. It's done running now. Okay, good. So let's go back here to our page. All right, and looks like this is again not even. It's not an update. Yep. Okay, we're gonna need to refresh this, and I hope. Okay, this is good. And now Cursor. Make sure that it actually is gonna show Cursor. Okay. Looks like okay. This is better now. I think we're real good. So here we are. Man, I need to move my camera again. Bottom, top. Let's just leave it at the bottom. All right. Because I want to show you guys at the top here. So this is our, oh my goodness. This is our, dashboard for Mergestorm. This is a couple other stuff here. These are my previous PRs, and this is some clones. But take a look at this one. This is the X-Copilot one right here. As you can see, it's opened up the PR. Let me close this out. This one, a bunch of Git stuff. All right. So GitHub is still king. I don't care what anybody says. Anyway, 200 lines, 100 diff, just small front end polish. As you can see here, Claude push this. So if you do it like this, you'll notice that Claude will actually push the PR, which is nice. It's not going to give you co-authored by. It's still. I swear, man, these guys are co-authored by Claude Fable. There's no way you can ever drop that co-author thing. That's how Cursor got quote-unquote big. They literally forced that co-authoring thing. Even if you disabled it in Cursor rules, it's still forced. Every PR opened with Cursor, it will say co-authored by Cursor. No matter how hard you try to stop it, it'll just force it to you. And that's how it is, man. That's the way we do it. That's how it is. So look, it's nice. Looks very nice. No issues. Front end, I got clear. We're also working on Vortex a lot. Yesterday, were we having some issues yesterday? Possibly. I don't remember. But we are continuing to update everything and polish everything really nice. So here we go. This landed. We can just land this. And once it lands, just the usual stuff. Let's go ahead and ask Cursor to Restart production. Okay, please sync up to main, restart production, and redeploy front end if you need to. Go ahead and do it now. Do it now. Do it now. All right, this is gonna do that now. Let's go back and showcase our beautiful, beautiful product, everybody. X-Copilot. We're getting some users now, a little bit here and there. We're gonna wait for this front end to redeploy, and I'm about to go blind. I need that. Oh, my eyes, man. I cannot even. All right, whew. I'm about to go blind. I need to wait for the front end redeploy real quick. So let's wait for this. Just 1 minute, 2 minutes. We'll wait for this redeploy, and then I'll show you guys the new setup. So Fable 5 for the front end, guys. You already know how it is. Nothing else. What else are you gonna do? Grok 4.6 not good. Maybe 4.7 will be good. Opus 5 is just gonna give you. It's gonna write 1,000 lines of code for 100 lines of code. It's gonna write 100 lines of code, 300 lines of edge cases, and 500 lines of tests. So no, thank you. We don't need Opus 5. Fable 5 is just amazing every sense of the way. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if Anthropic does whatever they want to do. I don't care. I mean, Fable 5 is just the best, and they're so far ahead. To be honest with you guys. I mean, Fable 5 is like the weaker model of Mythos, and Fable 5 is still better than anything on the market months later. So Anthropic is cooking. Anthropic is cooking. That's all I know. So looks like we're good here. It got redeployed, etc., etc. Let's go ahead and refresh the page and see what we got. See what we're working with. Not Mergestorm, X-Copilot. Let's see. Definitely need that theme change. Jeez. Oh my goodness. What is that? Yo. What is that? That is oh my god, what is that? What is that? What is this, bro? What are those shapes? Just a bunch of random, come on, man. Okay, let's see. Here's how I talk to Cursor. I gotta be nice, extra nice to it. Bro, what are those shapes in the user PFP? Just render one shape beautifully with maybe procedurally generated colors or tiles. This looks real messy. Also, why is it so big? Why is it so big? Why is this so big, bro? I gotta take it out of the screenshot. Why is the user PFP circle so damn big? Make it a bit smaller. Make everything tighter and cleaner. And also, what's up with these? Oh my god. Also, reduce the border radius on everything across my app. Everything is so rounded, bro. What? Open an issue and a PR. Small focused front end PR to patch this up and polish it a bit. That's it, man. Just polish. I don't care what it'll just do it. We're gonna move on. I'm not gonna sit here for an hour waiting for it to polish stuff. We can just move on. We'll do this polishing later on. I'm not too worried about this front end polish. You know, this is just the easy stuff. Who cares? Front end polish. There's like 1 or 2 PRs. Anyway, we'll fix this a little bit smaller. We got the appearance. Privacy and privacy settings needs to be collapsed into a single menu. I'll do that later. It still bothers me, but regardless. So here it is what we have. So we have a nice little bit of a landing page with this messed up PFP. Okay, we'll fix that. Sign in, some credits, free plan, etc., etc. A little bit of a showcase, how it works. Mark is interacted, etc. A little bit of just a basic landing page, guys. Some CTA, just kind of nothing crazy, really. So let's go ahead and sign in. Now, the first thing, I don't even care about signing in. Do I have an admin panel? That's what I want to know. Do I have an admin? So I'm going to sign in, actually, with my admin, I guess my main account real quick. And I want to see if we have a proper admin panel. And if we do, let's work on that a little bit. We could do Slack integration for observability, which is nice. And I probably will add that. But for now, let me see. So again, this is open source. Anybody does get an admin panel. I mean, not necessarily admin panel, just... See, we have a couple of one account here was free. We need to upgrade this. We have some tenants. So we do need to upgrade this, but what we're gonna do, this is way too big as well. PFP needs to be smaller. Now we have everything analytics, desk. We kind of have a bunch of stuff here already. We did get everything wired in for the automatic suggested replies and all that stuff. I guess I can show you guys for now. Let me show you guys. So let's do a quick takeoff. Let's see what it will show us. Also, I'm gonna probably order food now. It's been a little bit rainy today. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of a takeoff. I feel like we could do a little bit better animation, but yeah, it does take a little bit of time to get that stuff. And we got a couple of threads here, so we'll take a look at it in just a second. Let me just grab some food, man. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna do some interactions right now with the X Copilot. Let me just give man breakfast. There it is. Oh, nice. Okay, we got it. We got it. All right. Did you get some water though? We got some water. Gotta drink water. Don't forget to drink water. All right, here we go. Nice. All right, let's get back on track. So we got a couple of threads, etc. Let's see what we got. So here's how it works. I'm gonna try to see if we can actually avoid even going on the X app until the final call, so to speak, until the final action. Okay, here we go. All right, so this one, I guess I can open it on X. Okay, but yeah, because it's a little bit hard to understand what's going on. So what is this here? It's a thread, and it's talking about something. A startup can survive an ugly website. It can survive a tiny office. It can survive nobody wanted the product. Get customers first. You can look impressive later. But when it literally takes one day of co-working with an AI to turn an ugly website into something proper, having an ugly website nowadays is really a red flag or a style choice. Yes, I agree. So let's see what X-Copilot suggests us here specifically. So we got suggested reply. This post takes a side. Pick yours. Then we draft in your voice. So ugly website is a red flag. Ugly website can be a style choice. AI makes ugly websites inexcusable. I think I should actually choose, include like an other, where you can just type in a side, and then it will kind of create based on. I think this makes it a little bit better. Let me actually add that as well. It's a nice little extra feature. I don't think it really like hinders the current UX, but here's the idea. The idea is none of the sides it gave me is the side I want. So here is another nuance I would like to fix. So first of all, I want the AI for suggested replies to always make me choose to take a side, regardless of if it's a question or a opinion or whatever. It should first ask me to choose a side with several options, and if I don't like any of the options, I should be able to have a small text field to enter my own position. Then the AI will create a suggestion based on my position that I entered, and then continue with the flow where it makes me edit it, etc., etc. So please, can you open an issue and APR where it will add an optional small text field to enter my own side and continue. Yeah, so this is another thing I think it's nice to have, where it will kind of allow you to choose your own side, select the side that you want. So it'll give me an extra text box here, and it should say, you know, from my opinion here, for this specific one, the thing is, I understand this. So the idea is sometimes you push your product so fast that you just don't have time to polish all the pages. Usually, a website being ugly is temporary until the system stabilizes. That's my. Why is it thinking I'm in the UK or something? That's crazy. Anyway, so we're gonna respond like this. I don't think. I think honestly, like I know it's easy. Oh my God, we're not even on the right page, guys. Jeez. Yeah. Here's what I said. Let's go back. We can. I posted on X. Okay. Here it is. Added an interaction. We got our streak 6. We keep on going. Let's do this one as well. Open on X. I mean, we can just look here. So, reply showing personal experience. Let's open this on X. I wonder if we can just do like an iframe within. But we'll see. We'll figure it out. A little bit of a better flow later on. So this one is a little bit of a thread. You keep going to Google for all the assets you used. Can I take this as confirmation to disagree with the AI is theft argument? 2 then Google. This takes a lot of work. I've done this many times with photography using photo manipulation techniques. Everything sampled is under fair use. So AI is fine then, as everything is merely sampled and modified after the fact. Also high-end AI use takes effort too. Yeah, it takes a lot of effort. This helps cut it down a bit. I've ended up creating my own style profiles in AI based on moods. This helps cut it down a bit. I'm just gonna enter the thread and say this is a new era. We're in a new era of internet and data. How do I say this? I mean, protecting the artists, I understand, but at the same time, it's just not feasible anymore. Protecting the artists is important, but at the same time, it's no longer feasible in today's world. Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, I don't know what. Yeah, I guess it's a little bit of a controversial opinion, but at the same time, yeah, man, I'm with the AI, bro. What can I say? Let's see. I posted on X. So we don't need to do suggested replies. You don't really have to do that. You can just do it like this, and it will find your reply. Sometimes it takes some time, but it will find it. And yeah, we'll keep on going like this. So what about this one as well? Let's say AI can write the code, but it still can't decide what problem is worth solving, what trade-offs matter. Same old stuff, man. I'm gonna skip this one because it feels like it's AI rage bait, AI engagement bait. We're gonna avoid that. Memory graphs. AI replacing software engineer developers officially failed, and the main reason is the context that current models can process at a time is quite not great at this moment. 1 million contexts is not great? Okay. Memory graphs are good for tracking discrete facts, not for reasoning behind architecture trade-offs, client-specific exceptions, or the way a decision was made. When you have to take a decision based on all these facts, it's not the thinking of AI models that's the limitation. It's something that's a real problem in the way models process contexts. There's 2 ways to inject context into a model. With today's models, they already handle 1 million token contexts easily. The other option is to bake it into the weights, which is already happening with frontier models. Yeah, contexts will only grow, and what else can I say? And another option is you can just use a tool loop with a memory selection phase in order to select correct memories out of millions, essentially giving the model the context that it needs. Tons of options available. Each are viable in their own way. Yep, that it is, but I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what they're talking about, but yeah, you give so many different options to inject memory into models. You can do it through the weights, if you train the model, you do reinforcement learning, if you do uh, what is it? Tuning, weight tuning, whatever it is, you can tune your model and bake the memory into the weights. And otherwise, you could just use it as context, inject a bunch of context. And if that's not enough, if you have millions of files in Obsidian MD style, use tool loop to do vector search on the memory first, which is kind of like how humans operate. I feel like, we have a lot of memories, but we don't use all of the memories every time we say something. We only kind of pick and choose what we're thinking about. So AI is probably doing the same thing, or we can't have it do the same thing. There's literally so many different options. If you actually know what you're talking about, I think, yeah, you would not be confused about this, because memory with models has been solved a long time ago. You got vector search memory. What is the problem? Let's say you have a trillion tokens worth of memories, a bunch of garbage, right? Okay. Let's say your model can only handle 500k tokens, or that's how much you want to inject. Okay. Just do a tool loop, open code, or do a custom harness where it just searches through relevant memories, collects a bunch of memories, and then it starts its task with all the memories it needs. So I don't really see any issues with memory. People who are trying to solve memory, I feel like it's already solved. Anyway, what is this one? Startups optimize the progress. Oh man, startups optimize for progress. Well, because what else are you gonna optimize for? Progress is MRR. Yeah, I'm gonna just ignore this one. I don't really know what's going on, so I'm gonna skip this one. Let's get another batch of threads going on and see what's going on. And let's go back to cursor. I believe we need to do some. Yeah, it did open the PR. So I think that was 2 PRs that are open, right? We got what do we got? Yeah, we got these 2 going right here. This one is actually clear. So this is a little bit of a front end polish. So we can just merge this. As you notice here, the front end we got our front end agent that really likes to work. So this one is gonna be churning just for a little bit. Okay, so the other thing I want to add while I'm still here is observability. We need Slack integration. Let's do that. Here's how I want to do this. We just need an analytics service, part of the X-Copilot, essentially. We need an analytics service. Do we have one? I don't think we have one. So let's create an analytics service. Start it with PM2 manager. So we'll create a separate, analytics. Yeah, I guess we can call it analytics. It's not really observability, it's more analytics. So let's do that. I'm gonna give a prompt to Grok. Okay. Okay, so I need to work on the next big feature. So I would like to create an analytics service. It should be a standalone PM2 managed service, runs on its own port. The idea is this analytics service should have Slack integration. So it will send Slack messages each time a new user signs up, a user signs in, each time a user takes off, where he scans for scout posts. So various user actions, it needs to surface them and post in my Slack channel so that I can track things and make sure that any errors are able to be handled and make sure I have proper observability. But this is not observability. This is specifically analytics, and we want an analytics service that will be integrated with our main app, maybe through the API. And the idea is it should just send messages to Slack to help me with observability. So please go ahead and open up an issue and then open up API for this. Again, the analytics service should be completely independent from our API. The API should call it with a fire and forget type method. So even if the analytics service is down, it should have zero effect on any of our other systems, specifically the API or the front end. So again, the analytics service is more of a sidecar that it should be independent from the main app, and the app should fire and forget any analytics messages, and then the analytics will just send it to Slack. Please go ahead and implement this either as a single PR or MGPR stack if you think that's better. That's it. I'll just give it a little prompt. It's gonna do that. I think. Yep. Okay. So we're gonna do this little bit of analytics service so we can hook it up to Slack and get some proper observability so we can actually see what's going on, who's using it, if anyone is having any issues, if anyone's getting some 404s or bad responses. This will help us understand the product a little bit more and what's going on. Every product, every SaaS app should have observability and analytics. I think there is a I'm not even on the right page, bro. Every app should have observability and analytics. Observability is a little bit different. Observability is more for like system states. How is your system doing? How is our API calls doing? How are, do we have any like requests getting rate limited or any bottlenecks? That's observability. Analytics is more for when a new user signed up or when he decided to use the product or when he signed out or stuff like this. I think it's more analytics. You're analyzing users. Observability, you're observing the system. I mean, there's a lot of a lot of similar things between the two, but overall, there's some difference. I like to think of observability as more like that about the system, and analytics is more about the users. Observability would be like, how do the users use your system? So I think this guy opened up issue already. So this is where we're adding the analytics service. Again, the way I made this analytics service is specifically where it's fire and forget. So it is a separate service, but it's one of those independent services that even if it's down for some reason, it should have zero effect on the API and on our product. So let's go back to our product. This one is still patching this. The X-Copilot, so we're just gonna wait for it. Meanwhile, we can use our product here. I do need to upgrade the plan for Will. Let me refresh this. I think the front end needs to be redeployed still. But yeah, here we go. We got some analytics as well. I don't like the layout shift. See this layout shift? It's really bad. I don't like it. We have to figure out a way for this, but yeah, we got some analytics here. Looks like I had a bunch of views and now not as many views, so that's how it is. And we have the voice part where it's your voice. It grabbed 160 posts and continues to adjust my voice so that when it does suggest replies, it's going to use my voice. And yeah, on the main page, you just click takeoff and it's going to find some more threads. Let's look at this thread right here, just kind of how to use it. I usually don't like to I'm trying to do more of the suggested replies rather than using it myself, but let's see. So this one is something about Anthropic, some sort of open router data. July accelerated both MOM and month over month and year after year for the sum of OpenAI and Anthropic. Some chance Anthropic shifted from gross to net reporting for ARR, meaning that 65 billion is a more conservative metric than 47. Smart thing to do before an IPO. Something about IPO. Closed models can grow fast while open source takes share at the same time. That usually means the whole AI compute pie is getting much bigger. Yeah, I guess let's see what it suggested me to reply. So if I want to suggest a reply, so here it did not make me take a side because I guess no sides taken. When open source eats share and closed still grows double digits, the pie is expanding faster than people realize. I guess we can rewrite this a little bit. I do understand what it's saying. So the pie is increasing faster than people realize. Still, most people are not in tune with AI and barely know how to use it. Feels like crypto back in 2010. So this is a decent one. So you can check your edit, and it's gonna check your edit, make sure that yes, you added a fresh comparison, blah 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 blah. Open an X. So this is your other flow that you can do with an intent URL. Again, I have no idea why it thinks I'm in the UK, bro. I don't know why it keeps flagging this. I really need to fix this, like auto languages. Yeah, I'm literally in US. Oh, that's what it is. It thinks I'm doing US. I need to add US English. Why is the default English UK? I have no idea. Anyway, guys, we're just gonna stick. That's fine. We're gonna make this post. After you make the post, you go back, you click post it on X. But actually, what we've added, I'm pretty sure, is we've added it so we're gonna update our app so that you can post from here. The goal is you don't need to go to X with an intent URL. I believe we've already updated it to where you can post straight from the app. So you don't need to go to X. And that's what we're working on next as well. After observability, we just want to make sure that you guys are able to actually post this from the app. So let me look at my PRs here. This is X-Copilot. And always pick a side. Okay, we got this. But let me look at the closed ones. So sharpen corners, polish the landing into full width. Okay, but this unit right here, let me see what this unit is. Let an admin grant paid, show manual upgrade notice on usage, and let admin grant from /admins. This is just admin stuff. What is this one? This one is stop painting thread bodies. This is a front-end polish. So what happened to our actual allowing us to this right here? What happened here? Look at this. Post a verified reply from the desk and drop the extra mark click. See, what happened here? Did we never... I'm kind of confused. Because did this never land into main? Let's check. Because this was the patch that we had for being able to just send directly from the desk. Okay, what happened here? I thought we merged this into main so we can make the post directly from the desk. Do I need to update my X console app permissions so that we can properly send post from the app? Because I still see all the old flows. Yeah, that's... The analytics URL is also on localhost. We have to make sure we lock down all the ports on the box. That's a little bit separate. We can do that a little bit later. So I'm just trying to see what happened because we did upgrade this to where you should be able to post straight from the desk. The whole point was is you do suggest a reply and you post straight from here. You don't need to go open an X. You don't need to do intent URL. We just close the loop. I'm just not sure if maybe it didn't merge into main or whatever happened there. So this is another PR stack. It's submitted for this analytics stuff. It's a little bit of a separate lane, so we can work on the intent URL and the posting stuff in parallel. I don't think it's going to cause too many conflicts. Because this is a totally separate service that we're doing. Yeah. It's going to finish this. Cursor has been a little bit slow today. I mean, it's a little faster now, but it's really been a little bit slow here. So Cursor finished here. We have a sidecar, the X-Copilot Analytics. This one, it cannot go public with the API. Get health posts if it will allow this. Slack incoming webhook is optional. If it's missing, events are accepted and logged if the sidecar is down. So we'll have to set up Slack connection actually offline. We'll figure that out. But for now, let's look at this happening right here because not main. So that's an issue. It got merged into a stack branch, not into main. That's a... What happened there? How come it got merged into a stack branch? Are we not merging anything into main? This is main. How did it get merged into a stack branch? That's crazy. This one is landed to main, you know? Look at that. Whoa. Yeah, see, this went to main. Right? Yeah. Oh, the alt flow is the app telling you it's still cannot post to you. What GitHub shows? Why you still see open on X? Post reply. When X can post is true. The flag is set only after the desk has stored your X user access tokens. Link in X before this feature was identity only, so those sessions, blah, 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 blah. Let's go to developer portal. Let me fix this. Oh my God, my eyes. Let's fix this. Okay, so I need to fix this. Let's do that. So your app user authentication settings. Let me fix this. Your app user keys and tokens, access token, authentication set. I have no idea what's going on. Let me see. Settings. App permissions. Read, write, read and write. I'm just gonna send it a screenshot and just gotta tell me what to select. Here. What do I have to do to select the proper one? So we need to select the proper permissions. Yeah, let's do that. So that we can actually post as the user. Request email from users. Request email from user required to provide URLs to app privacy policy and terms of service. Do we need emails? I don't know, maybe later. But under app permissions, click read and write. Yeah. Okay, let's change this to read and write. And what else do I need to do? I need to... That's it. Just save changes. Okay, here what we're gonna do. We're gonna do... Okay, so now what I want you to do is just revoke every single X connected user / account. Just wipe that entirely so we can essentially force all existing users to reconnect to our X app with the new permissions. So that's like just so we don't have many users, might as well just force everybody to reconnect. It'll just make life easier instead of telling them that they need to re-enable it. We just disconnect everybody and force reconnect. So which page am I on? I'm still on Cursor, so it's just going to be doing some boring stuff here. Let's go back to X-Copilot and let's go back to our PRs. We have a couple of PRs. Let me go back to Mergestorm. So this one is clear. This is always pick a side before suggest, including a typed position. That's cool. Let's go ahead and land this. So we got the architecture tests and the API specialists that got invoked here. Now we're just waiting on this PR stack to finish. This is a loopback analytics, fire and forget sign up. That's just basic. And we'll do the Slack integration offline. So it's gonna write tokens live on the X auth account rows. I'll count who is X only versus 0, so we don't create duplicate users, then wipe the connections. 3 users, 2 X links, 1 X only, 1 Google plus X. I'll wipe tokens and unlink X from Google accounts, but keep the X only identity so that login does not create a duplicate user. All right, it's a little bit of a mess, but okay, whatever, that's fine. So it did flush that already. I'm pretty sure it restarted production. I hope so. Let's see here how it works. So if you have to refresh this, I'm pretty sure it's going to ask me to connect to X. No, it's X handle not set. So this is a nice edge case. So if I click takeoff, I should not be able to click takeoff if X handle is not set. You know what I mean? It should kind of scream at me to set the X handle. That's a lot of typing. I just typed it some prompt. I said, yeah, we need, I want the desk to scream at me. If I don't have a user X linked, I should not be able to do takeoff for any of this stuff. I need X linked. It has to be linked. It's part of the onboarding flow. You know, if you do it signing in, you have to link X. There's no, it can't just let you in the dashboard. It needs to be a fat pop off and say, you know, link X, link X. So we need that. A little bit of a user flow upgrade here, nothing too crazy. So okay. So it's going to take a little bit of time here. Let's go back to our desk. Yeah, I don't necessarily want to link anything yet because I want to make sure that the flow works good. Also, link X should also have an on link X. So this was going to link me. Okay, but that's later. I just needed to actually scream at me. And plus, it's opening this up in the same tab. Jeez, man. Okay. The link X thing really needs to be like a modal. Opening at the same time. I mean, yeah, this is just a couple of nuances I want to fix. This is still big. It needs to redeploy on the front end, I believe. How is our stacks doing? I'm pretty sure it's still doing everything. Cyclone is patching both of them, so some findings were found. Yeah. So the analytics as well, that's the analytics stuff. So we're kind of still working on this. Here, Cursor is just out here doing its thing, so we need to give it a second. There's nothing much I can do right now. Yeah, give it a sec. We're waiting on the analytics PR stack to merge, and this one is just like a CTA thing. So if it's not linked, if your X is not linked, it's gonna scream at you that you need to link your X. So I guess meanwhile I can go back and use the product a little bit. So I guess I'll link my X just to test. I will unlink it after the fact because just to test the edge case. So here we link our X now. We have permission to actually post as ourselves. And also, what is this? It didn't just curate some stuff and now it's gone. So I don't know. That's another thing. So let's figure this out. Let's do another round here. So it's gonna find some threads and we're gonna see how well it works with the actual posting from the app. That's kind of closing the loop. We're not doing automatic posting and we're trying to do this. This is according to TOS. So we have humans. So the TOS says you can't have AI automatically post for you on X. Okay. So let me see here really quick. Let's open this thread. What is this about? Something about Minimax, VRAM, 10 minutes capability, blah, blah, blah. Something about a video AI stuff. Suggested reply. It's probably not going to ask me to choose a dot. Right, 720p. Okay, but it's still not letting me post. If I delete this, is it going to let me? Yeah, see, it's not going to let me. If I just delete something, guys, you can't even see nothing. I'm so sorry here. It's not going to let me post it because just deleting something is not good enough. So we really need to understand what it's saying and put it in our own words. So 720p in 10 minutes is wild. I see because as VRAM cost drops, these numbers are going to get crazier. AI moving super fast. So this is definitely my own voice. Let's check the edit, and I want to see if it's going to actually let me post. Yeah, post reply. Perfect. So here we go. I don't know if this will actually post it. You guys ready? So first of all, again, the TOS says you're not allowed to automatically post as AI. So we make sure that you have humans in the loop. First of all, it uses your voice. It learns your voice here, and it uses whatever it suggests as your voice. And besides that, it makes you rewrite the suggestion as well. So post a reply. You can only reply to or quote posts where you are mentioned or are the author. Oh, nice. Okay. Interesting. What is that? What is that, bro? What is, yo? Whoa. What is this? Someone's gonna get yelled at. What is this? I have not heard, I have no idea what this is. Are you kidding me? You can only reply to, bro, okay, man. Hold on. What is this? What? Don't change anything, just explain. Are you kidding me? I can only reply to or quote posts. Is this wait a second. Sometimes the guys do some weird stuff. I can clearly reply. Maybe it's the API stuff. That's crazy, man. Let's see what Cursor says. Cursor, the almighty. So takeoff still worked because onboarding only asks for X once. After that, it says true even if, okay, this is definitely bad. We open the PR, we close this out, blah, blah, blah. What is this, bro? I'll trace through the message's surface so I can explain it without changing anything. This seems like an API limitation. And look, it's not a game-breaking bug or anything. We can still make you do the intent URL thing, but I'm just trying to figure out what this is all about. Why it doesn't let me post through the API. I mean, Yeah. Let's see. I'm curious. So what is going on here? It said it's X's. The desk posted tweet as you. X refused it, and we printed the detail. Write tokens aren't working. If the app were still read X is saying via the API, you may only reply to or quote a post if you wrote it or you are at mentioned on it. Interesting. Scouts curated cards are other people's posts. You are almost never the author or mentioned, so post reply fails. Damn, bro. We got cooked. Open on X still works because that is the official client. The OP limited who can reply? Is that really? I'm pretty sure this third party write access is tighter than the X app itself. Okay. Let's try again. So let's not give up. It's just a small thing. Okay. So it's still good. So we can still have the scout. Oh my goodness, let me just put this up. We can still have the scout post specific or reply to yourself or something like this. But yeah, this seems like an interesting issue. So let me just first actually reply. So actually reply to this properly. And then the other thing is, I posted on X already. Okay, so it still kind of works. Even if you don't use the suggested reply, you can still reply manually and it will find it. Let's try a different one. You know, maybe sometimes it's just the guy set some stuff. Who knows? Let's try this one again. There's a different thread here. I hate to admit it, but after a while, I digged deep into the lanes of Reddit. By the way, AI compilation might be good, but I researched my buyer's persona a little more closely and actually read through 100+ comments easy. Only 100 comments? Bottom line, AI compilation might be good, but actually reading through people's opinion can alter your brain chemistry. I already have 3 to 5 new angle ideas I hadn't thought of before. Pro tip, do a monthly reading through ICP's opinion like a sacred job. Yeah, I mean, yes, it's a good idea. Definitely a good idea. Just need to be careful about listening to too many random feature requests. It will bloat your product, and you will end up doing everything, but everything. You'll end up doing everything mediocre instead of a few things really good. I don't know if that makes sense. It's almost sometimes easier. So I'll post it on X so we can do this. So suggested reply. Let's try it on the next one. And I'm okay with this. It's actually safer this way if we don't even post from you. But still, having the post permissions is good. It can still reply to yourself, right? So it can still do some stuff. It's still not a game breaker. This is maybe a good safeguard, you know. Let me try this one, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna give us the same thing. Let's just try this one. So open on X. What is it talking about? It's talking about genomics teams shipping with AI coding. I was just moving faster. They're changing who gets to build scientific software at all. Right. AI agents democratize scientific software development. Sure. Reading the thread. Okay. Posting a voice. Check my edit. Genomics is full of domain experts who never touched the code before. Yeah. Let's just do AI democratizes scientific research and pushes it further 10x than before. If there any scientist now can spend some time understanding his subject and learning it much faster than ever with the power of AI. Really excited to see what is it? I talk about medicals, genomics. What medical / what genomics? See what solutions in genomics AI. Again, I'm just this is like kind of a yes man argument, but the idea is it's really more about just supporting AI. Why can't I check my edit? Too long. Interesting. So it doesn't really let me post if it's too long. Okay. I just remove this part. Okay, check my edit. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna let me post, but that's okay. I rephrased it. Let's post it. Pretty good. Yeah, same error. That's okay. So we now know there's an error, but we can't do that. I think it's for our own benefit. So we could just open on X. It's gonna give us the intent URL. So that's okay. We can deprecate this. This is good enough already. Okay. So we can deprecate the post as yourself. The post reply. We need to deprecate this. We'll do that. Let me just look at the current PRs we have open. So this is what we have open here. This one is waiting for a fix, I believe. So it's waiting for Cyclone to grab this job and fix it. Yep, it's already working on this. And this one is also patching. So we can't really move forward too much, but we can keep on interacting. So yeah, it's looking a little bit better today, guys. We keep it cooking. Let's see what else we can do meanwhile. All right. So we do want to deprecate this, right? But the status of us, we have 3 PRs. This one is analytics, not bad. This is analytics, and this is the one with block the desk and take off until official access linked. So this is a little bit of a link stuff. So we could technically do this in parallel. I could probably fire off another PR. Specifically, let's see what the idea is. The idea is we just remove the post reply entirely. Again, we have to just deprecate this, but we're not going to deprecate the user permissions, because what the desk can do, and the next step I want to add is, so this is curated, but we can also show like a suggested post to make. So this is just about replying to other people's posts. But because it tracks your analytics, because it tracks your posts, it kind of understands what's going on, and it, this got a lot of views, and this got a lot of views. So it'll be like, wait a second, this post got a lot of views and likes. I would suggest you to, make a reply to this post, or make this kind of original post, or do another quote post about this topic. Something like this, it can suggest, at the very least, suggest posts to make. And in addition, another cool thing, so because it only allows you to reply to stuff you've been quoted on, or things that, to reply to your own posts. Yeah, that's kind of we still want to take advantage of this. So let me think how we can integrate this. Yeah, first of all, we definitely want to just get rid of this post on X button. So let's do that in Cursor real quick. I'm just going to deprecate it right back, because we already merged the previous feature, so we can do another PR to deprecate it. So, okay, open up an issue on GitHub for our PR repo, and then open up a PR or a stack of MGPRs. Here's what I need you to do. We need to deprecate the post button from our desk, because we are not allowed to post via the API to users who have not tagged us, or to posts that are not our own. So we want to deprecate the whole post from the desk button, but we want to still leave the open on X intent URL and all that flow. And we still are going to keep the write permissions, because we're going to use that for another feature of our platform. So please open up an issue and a small focused PR. Just deprecate the post on X feature from our desk. We no longer are going to use it. We still want the suggested replies. We still want the choose your side, and we still want the open on X via an intent URL, but we no longer want to directly post replies to other users' threads through the API, because that's not allowed. All right, there we go. Moving on. So let's just do this. And again, guys, I'm using this on my own account. You guys can check it out as well on your account. You get a free plan, not a free trial. It's a free plan. It means you sign up with Google Sign In, no credit card, nothing. You sign in, and then you get, every month you get some quota. You can try it out for free. Also, this is open source. If you want to run this yourself, you can run it yourself. But you're going to have to pay for the API credits. So if anything, it's actually cheaper to use our free plan, because we're paying for the API credits. So if you don't want to pay for X API credits and you still want to just try this out, you can go ahead and try this out. X-Copilot.dev. Sign in with Google or X. No credit card required. So we are adding a couple of things. Let's see how we're doing with our PRs. Awaiting a fix here. Let's sync this up. Vortex is reviewing. This one is all clear. We need to wait for this to finish so that we can promote this into the integration unit. Looks like there are some merge conflicts, because we merged a newer PR. The Cyclone can handle this merge conflict, but remember, this is going to be merge conflicts against this branch. You understand? So the idea is we want to let this finish churning before we handle this merge conflict. If we handle the merge conflicts now, and there's going to be some more patches happening, it's going to conflict again, possibly. So I'm going to wait until, and I'm going to show you how Cyclone can easily handle this in like under 2 minutes. Just fix the Cyclone, it's going to fire it up, but I don't want to do this right now. I want to wait for Vortex to finish. I'm pretty sure it's going to finish with an all clear. Here's how Vortex works against, we have these specialists. We're actually doing a huge upgrade to the Vortex specialists. Am I even on the right freaking page? No, I'm not. Sorry, guys. You guys are looking at something else. So I'm looking at here at the PRs. So this PR here is 600 lines, whatever. Vortex fired it off. It invoked security and architecture specialists. Both one of them found the findings. Here's our new flow. So our first flow we had Vortex only run core. Vortex core, if you see here, Vortex core is just the basic. It's all around good. It's what we started with. Super fast. Uses DeepSeek View for Flash. Custom hardness, not open code. Open code runs 500 megabytes. Are you kidding me? Open code runs 500 megabytes at idle. We're not using open code. We're using a fully custom harness built and inspired by Hermes, by OpenClaw, and by open code. Just took the best parts of each harness, put it into our own harness. It runs at 170 megabytes, maybe 200 megabytes at peak. So we're able to run 10, 20 instances of Vortex on a single box with no issues. It's super fast. So we said, we have so much room. What do? We're going to expand it. So instead of running one Vortex instance, we're running like 7 specialists additional. Now, not at the same time, it's going to burn credits, obviously. So we have a smart router. The smart router will decide which specialists to invoke, but not just that. So on the initial review, it decides what kind of PR is this? Okay, this is security heavy and an architecture heavy PR. So it's going to invoke the security specialist and the architecture specialist. Okay, what does it do next? What happens next? Right now, if it keeps firing off these specialists, it's going to keep spamming you with a lot of errors, a lot of noise. A lot of these specialists, a lot of times they find the same issue over and over. So the same issue, like here, look, similar issue kind of gets restated almost. So we're updating our loop so that on every follow-up review, it's actually going to fire off the same specialist, but only specialists which found findings. So in our new flow, we're actually going to, for the follow-up, it will not invoke security. Why? Because the security didn't find anything. Why would it invoke it again? But it is going to invoke architecture because it found one issue and is going to make sure that this issue is resolved. But it's also not going to invoke any new specialists, because if every follow-up review it decides to invoke some random specialist, it's not going to help us. So this is the kind of this fan-out method, where we fan out and then we converge. We fan out with all these specialists at the beginning. You know, we got all these specialists that get fired. In this case, it's the same specialist that got fired. And first it fans out, it gets those specialists, and after that, it's going to converge. So it's only going to fire the specialists which actually found findings on the first run. And if it has findings on the second follow-up, well, then it's going to invoke it on the third follow-up. But then we have an additional specialist that's coming up. An additional specialist that's coming up is going to be the governance specialist. We're doing something unique. I don't know what everybody else is doing. I have no idea what other code review agents are doing, and I really don't care. Because we got Fable 5 on our side. We got the latest models, thinking the hardest, doing audits on our systems day and night, and we have multiple agents, 10, 20 agents all running and churning and working on this. So, you know, looking at what others are doing, where they have huge teams that they move real slow, because each code review, each code change, each product decision has to go through like 5 different levels of executives, and then by the time it gets through, it's already been a week. We're able to, you know, because a small team, come up with a feature today. In 3 hours, it can already be live in production. So anyway, here it is. Here's another demo of this. We got a merge conflict, so we can't promote. We could actually promote this one. I believe we could try it. Let's see. If I promote this, it should be able to promote this one, but it's going to stop midway through because it's not going to be able to run the seam review, but it might be able to run the seam review still, even with the merge conflict. Right. So in this case, it did promote this. Even with this merge conflict, here's the thing. Well, I don't know if is it gonna run the seam review. Let me see. It might not. It might just promote and stop halfway through, which is okay. So as you see, it has conflicts it needs to resolve, so I can't really move forward. Okay, no problem. We merge this one. It's not going to run the seam review because it needs to resolve the conflicts. So how do we do this? Fix with Cyclone, just like this, 2 button clicks. That's it. Cyclone will do the rest. We have a specialist. Cyclone is also kind of like, we have specialists for Cyclone as well, but it's a little bit different. So the specialists for Vortex are the ones that run in parallel. It's a little bit different architecture. For Cyclone, we're not running specialists in parallel because we're patching code. But instead, we have specialists. You can invoke one at a time. So in this case, it's actually going to invoke the merge conflict resolution specialist. And this whole job, its whole prompt, this whole harness is all about understanding both sides of the hunk where it's conflicting, deciding how to properly merge them, do the merge, verify that it's actually clean, and only then it will give you the thumbs up. Really, really cool. I'm really happy to use it. I mean, it might be a little bit slower than if you just put this into Cursor or into OpenCloud or whatever, but it's a lot cheaper and it saves you time. It saves you context. You don't need to take your main agent and send it off on like some side quest to merge conflicts while you're still trying to work on some PRs. This way you can just delegate the task to Cyclone. It's going to spin everything up in its own instance. Yeah, just like Grok bot or whatever they're building. Every agent now has its own computer. Well, this is pretty much what it is. But you don't need its own computer. You don't need an agent doesn't need its own full computer. All it needs is a Docker instance, fully isolated. On one VPS, you can run 10 of those if you optimize this. So yes, and it takes 0.25 milliseconds to spin it up, spin up a Docker instance. Or if you have already an instance running, you could just lease it. So anyway, this whole there's some people building their whole SaaS around the fact that they have agents that can spin up their own computers, but that's just like table stakes at this point. Literally, a table stake. Every agent spins up its own computer, so you gotta move forward, gotta push forward. All right, guys, I think it's been over an hour, and looks like we got a couple more things that are making progress. So let me see here. Let's continue. Let's continue cooking. I want to merge these. I do want to merge it, but I feel like it's going to cause conflicts. So what I'm going to do, wait for this. It should be quick. It should be quick. It should be quick. Let's look at the PR here. It should be really quick. A couple minutes max. It is. It's already done. See? It did one follow-up. I think maybe something did not. It didn't say it's clean. It did on the second follow-up. Great. Now it's clean. No conflicts. Done. See that? It's just verifying. It's also going to verify that there's no conflicts. That's the thing. So it does the proper merge commits. Right. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? Right here. Okay. So Vortex is now reviewing this, of course. Vortex is reviewing this because, yeah, every time if it did a merge conflict resolution and pushed some code, the diff changed, the SHA moved forward. Vortex is going to actually, did it say all clear? That was pretty fast. Yeah, it's pretty clear. It's pretty fast here. That's nice. So it cleared up everything. See, it was pretty fast, guys. Couple of minutes, it's done. Bam, done. You didn't need to do anything. You didn't need to copy paste some stuff. You didn't need to struggle. You just click, click. That's it. Now that it's done, click continue. We have other apps, like some other apps that like make you have all these buttons, like restack or this or that. We're even gonna remove these two. So land unit and promote, we're gonna collapse this into one button because you can either promote or land unit. You can't do both at a time. So we're gonna actually collapse this. So you're literally just gonna have two buttons. You either sync, and even that doesn't really need to be used. So you either click sync to sync up the state, or you just click promote or land next. So here I could click this. It's gonna promote both of them. It's gonna land both of them into main. Here it's doing the seam review. I guess this is a part of core, Vortex core. So when we're doing these stacks, there's a special agent that it invokes that's specifically meant to look at the seam between the two PRs and give us any. Most of the time it will be clear, but sometimes it'll find a little bit of findings. So it's always good. We like to run this seam review just to keep things nice and tidy. But obviously, as this a 2 PR stack is probably not gonna find a lot of like seam review issues, but if you're doing any big PR, like 4 or 5 PR stacks, it's going to find issues. So here it is. Also, we can see the merge conflict specialist that shows here because it was also invoked. Again, this is kind of like a different, this is a cyclone specialist, right? This is not a vortex specialist, but yet it still is a specialist. So we have a really cool system here, guys. You guys really try it. I don't know anybody else doing it like this, like surfacing all the specialists and letting you guys create your own review loops and customize them properly. The specialists have like proper prompts, and they're all written by Fable 5, so written with the latest, best models. And you know, when Fable 5.1 comes out, we'll do an audit, rewrite the prompts with Fable 5.1. This system, because it's mostly, you can think of it like a harness, a review harness slash a review system for models, you know. But it's very customizable with a nice dashboard focused on DevX, on developer experience. So that's what the idea here is. And this seam review does take a couple of minutes, so we're going to wait for it to run through. And then we're going to promote this into the integration unit. Then I'm going to merge these two PRs that are ahead. And then I'm going to run a Tempest review on this integration unit. We're going to patch it up. If there's any conflicts, no worries. It's just going to be based on one branch, right? So we're just only going to have to resolve conflicts between MG stack and main when both are inside already, which is much easier than merging this in, and then you have a bunch of conflicts everywhere. So we're going to wait for this, merge this in, then merge these two, and then we should be done. So guys, I think it's been over an hour. Thank you guys all so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. We continue to work on the X-Copilot, continue to improve it every day. Yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.